Hello, my name is Olivia Adams, and today I will be discussing with you the research that I concluded on how effective it is for police officers to use psychological tactics during an interrogation. Law enforcement frequently uses psychology in order to receive any amount of information from whoever's being questioned. This can work with both witnesses and suspects, whoever is involved in the case, to share details that they might have forgotten or purposely do not want to share. The main goal for law enforcement is to find whoever is at fault and to get a confession. When researching my topic, I looked up scholarly journals that explain the most common and effective psychological tactics used. The most frequently mentioned tactic, which I will be discussing about first, is the Reed accusatory model of interrogation. This tactic is also known as the Reed Manual, which is designed to successfully retain information out of anyone, which allows police to have a variety of options on how they want to question someone. The two categories are the behavioral analysis interview, or short for BAI, and the second category is the preparation and planning, engage and explain, account closure, and evaluate, which is short for PEACE, which these are the two styles that are highly effective. To start off, the BIA of questions that provokes the guilty person. Questions can include asking the suspect if they committed a crime. By asking these provoking questions, police can notice signs in nonverbal and verbal behavior that points that they are at fault for committing the crime. According to French, innocent suspects assume different postures, such as uncrossed arms and legs, forward in the chair, and engage in more frequent nonverbal behaviors. French concluded while studying these people that were being asked challenging questions. French concluded while studying a variety of people that there was a difference between the innocent and the guilty while being asked these questions. So for the next category of the Reed Manual is PEACE, which I mentioned previously. The technique or style of PEACE allows people to be interrogated to speak about their knowledge of the scene. So this is where the suspect is allowed to defend themselves, try to convince the police to be on their side, and to be convinced by their story. How do police know that these people are lying? They will be able to tell in their diction, such as their choice of words, and how they talk slowly, loudly, quietly, uses pauses, and allows police to separate those being interrogated into two categories, such as who is at fault and who is innocent. These two tactics give police a 50-50 shot on finding the guilty person. Now, even though the Reed Manual is effective, it does come with some consequences. One thing that can happen with this particular psychological tactic is false confessions. This happens when police coerce or constantly engage in creating fear in the suspects or witnesses or whoever is being questioned. Police tend to be more coercive towards juveniles and use the same tactics that they do on adults on juveniles. So this leads them to confess falsely. To clearly, they use the same patterns of manipulative, confrontational, or psychological coerce techniques with comparatively the same frequencies. Referring to police and how using common methods of questioning are effective towards adults with juveniles. Now, another technique that is involved with the Reed Manual but not as commonly used is the 9-step approach. This process allows police to trust the suspect and provide enough reassurance to have the suspect believe that they trust them. According to Casson, in a survey, 631 North American police estimated their most frequent tactics in order, such as physically isolate the suspect, typically in a small room, identify their contractions in the suspect's account, try to establish rapport to gain the suspect's trust, confront the suspect with the evidence of guilt, and a plea to their self-interest. This process shows that the 9-step approach can be very risky and could put the wrong person behind bars. There are 2 types of questioning styles, such as temporal questioning and unexpected questioning. The types of questions that are being asked here is simply not rehearsable, that are made to catch you off guard. So the other style of questioning is temporal. Some questions that may be considered in this type of style is, what was the time of day when the crime was committed? Third psychological tactic that is used by police officers during an interrogation is cognitive skills. For the police to weaken a suspect, they might use past events in their life, such as their childhood, can allow the suspect to share information. For the last psychological tactic, I will be talking about classical conditioning and how police officers use it when they want witnesses and suspects to not fear and become anxious. A psychological tactic, try to reason with the suspects and say phrases like, "We know you did that, and that's okay." Thank you so much for listening to my presentation of how law enforcement uses psychological tactics to receive any information and a possible confession. Thank you.